Hi guys, welcome to another Bourbon Santa video. Let's see if this one goes better. I forgot to press the record button on my last one, so basically I spent 25 minutes talking to myself and reviewing 5 whiskeys. So, let's try this again. Today, I received a blind flight from one of my fellow bourbon junkies. His name is Jerry Hamilton. Thank you for this blind flight. I'm super excited to try it. I love blind flights. So interesting to see what you find out. Here is the key, still sealed. We'll leave it right there. And let me pour these real quick, and then we're gonna get started. I'm super excited to see what these are. So this one's numbered. These are numbered a little different than normal. This one's 23. The second one is numbered 24. Third one is numbered 25. And the fourth one is numbered 37. So this will be interesting to see how that works. You might notice the it's me, Bourbon Santa shirt from the Bourbon Junkies merch page. You can find that at bourbonjunk.com. Go check it out. They have all kinds of merch available on their page. Check them out. All right, so let's start with number 1, which is actually number 23. This is very familiar. This is a very familiar whiskey. This whiskey is very familiar to me. It's high proof. I'm gonna say cask strength. This is a cask strength whiskey. Seriously? Or is it fly in here? Awesome. Oh yeah. This is driving me crazy. I know this whiskey. This is very, very familiar. It's got a nice apple, nice cherry, nice cinnamon to it. There's some cinnamon to it. There's caramel. There's honey. There's a lot going on. There's almost a biscuitiness, almost like a cracker, like a buttered cracker, like Toll House cracker. I don't know. It's like a buttered cracker. Should I go through and nose them all and then go through and taste them? Or should I taste them and nose them as I go? I'm going to taste them. I'm going to nose them and taste them as I go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a cask strength whiskey. That's hot. That is a that's a full frontal assault. That's a strong cask strength whiskey. Okay. That's nice. Nice buttery aspects. I mean, it's hot. It's hot, and that like just shows up. It's making my mouth water. Excuse me. That just shows up on the mid palate. Huge heat, huge spice. Very aggressive. I know what this whiskey is. I know what this whiskey is. I'm not sure what it is, but I know what it is. Second sip, my mouth's more acclimated to it. All the whiskeys that I had earlier, except for one, were not cask strength. My mouth's a lot more acclimated to it now. There's really nice, round, sweet things happening in the mid palate, and then the finish is just nice and smooth and just tingly and all over the place. It's a little sharp. It's a very high proof whiskey. It's very sharp though, in ethanol sharp. It fights you a little bit. And then you got to blow it out to get anything on the nose because it's so sharp, so alcohol forward. If you don't blow it out, that just throws off everything else. All right, let's go to number 2, which is number 24. These are very similar to each other. This one, number 24, is a little less sharp. It has a lot of the same flavor characteristics, but less sharp. This is a less sharp whiskey. It's less alcohol forward. The same apple and cherry and stuff going on, flavor-wise, note-wise, nose-wise, are all there. This one has more of a burnt caramel. The first one has more of a burnt caramel nose. And this one's rounder and prettier. This one is almost a touch floral, but they're very, very similar. These are really, really similar. Very similar. Okay, I prefer this one. I prefer the second one to the first one so far. It's just rounder and prettier and less harsh, and it's just got more rounded off edges, so it's not fighting you as much. But they're very similar. These might even be from the same distillery. These first two. This one's also cask strength as well. For sure. Absolutely cask strength. All right, number 25, which is number 3 in my progression. Okay, this one's very similar as well. A lot of similar notes, a lot of similar characteristics in the way it presents across your nosing. This one has a little less apple. Has the cherry. It has the of course the vanillas and the creams and things going on behind the scenes. This one feels more put together, like more cohesive in some way. It's very similar to the first two that we've tried. This one is also high proof. This is also cask strength for sure. Oh. Okay. Oh. The third one, number 25, is is just pretty and voluptuous, and it's like one flavor rolling into the next, and nothing is fighting, and nothing's at contrast with each other. They just like fit. All the flavors just fit and flow together. This is butter and cream and vanilla and like creme brulee. Not like overly really toasted, just like lightly toasted creme brulee. Like even without the crust, when you scoop it, some of the inside part. But again, strangely similar to the two previous. This one's just like more put together, more cohesive, prettier, rounder. Oh, and then what's interesting is the apple on this one shows up more in the mid palate, not in the very beginning. These two, it shows up right at the beginning. This one's more mid palate and right before the finish. And then right at the finish, you get a little bit of bitterness right on the back of your tongue. and you get a little bit of spice in your throat when you know, in the finish. And there's something else there. It's almost like a really, really nice toffee. There's a toffee note, like right off the machine while it's still warm, right before they let it cool on the counter on the parchment paper. There's a toffee note that's sitting there right in the middle that just really sets this one apart from the previous two. If you told me that these first three were from the same distillery or even were the same whiskey, I would not be surprised. And again, these are so familiar. Oh, so far, the third sample, number 25, is my favorite so far. It's funny, they keep getting better. The first one was the sharpest and most harsh, but it was still interesting, you know, it was still good. And then the second one was a little rounder, a little nicer, a little smoother, a little more friendly. And then the third one was just beautiful, like somebody finally figured out what they were doing. So I'm really excited for number 4. Okay. This is different. This is something different. These three are clearly very, 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 very similar, and this one is different. This one's got a breadiness to it. It's got like a buttered bread, even more biscuity than number 2 was. Number 2 was like a cracker. This is more like a biscuit. Maybe even toast, like maybe not sourdough. Some kind of toast, something dense, not sourdough, but something else that's very, very dense that I can't think of the name of right now. This is pretty. This is also really, really pretty. I get a hint of a chocolate note on this one, but something is definitely different about this sample than the previous 3. Oh, yeah. This is totally different than the other 3. It's something's very different about this one compared to those three. Those three have very similar bones, like the way they're structured is very similar flavor wise, and this one is like a turn away. Freaking fly! God dang! What the heck? This one takes a drastic turn away from those. Still nice. This one's got some florality to it. It's this one's a little more perfumey. Oh, and when you blow it out, the floral notes really pop out of the glass. They're really, really happening there. It's like when you're cutting flowers that you just bought for your wife. When you're cutting the stems and putting them in the water, that note is right there. Let's try it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This one has a bitter note that goes right down the center of your tongue. That is very different than the previous three. And this one's finish is way shorter, way less enveloping, way less, it has less mouthfeel than the previous three. I'm not saying that this is a younger whiskey, but it's less flavorful. It's got less going on than the previous three. Now, the prettiest of the previous three was the third one, and that was the nicest one. This has got some of the harsh aspects of the first one I tried. And there are minor, very minor similarities between this and those. I don't think this is a Heaven Hill product. There's a note in here that's telling me that this is a Knob Creek product. It's right on the nose. It's a note that I always pick up in every Knob Creek product that I try. It's there. It's there, and it's almost a nut, but it's different than a nut. It's hard to explain. It's almost macadamia nut, where it's like a wet nut. It's like a creamy nut, but different. It's not really macadamia nut. That's not exactly right, but it's close to macadamia nut. It's like macadamia nut mixed with something else. I think this one is a Knob Creek product. The other three, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this is, but I know I've had it a lot. I know I've had something very similar. I know I've had something probably in this family of products a lot. Oh, that third one, oh my God. The nose on the third one is seriously wonderful. Oh my gosh. Okay, number 3 is my favorite. That is seriously wonderful. Let's find out what the heck these things are. All right. I'm seeing the back of the card. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. I don't know if it's going to focus on this well enough, but there it is. Okay. 23 is Stagg Junior Batch 5. 24, the second one, is Stagg Junior Batch 6. And the third one, number 25, is Stagg Junior Batch 9. Oh my God. I've been wanting to try Batch 9 for years. I've never had batch 9 before. I've never had batch 6 or 5 either. I've had batch 3. These 3 stags I've never had before. Oh my God. Jerry, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, the 4th one, number 37, is a Knob Creek. I called that one. It's a single barrel, 14 year. Looks like Parks and Resorts, Disney. This was a Disney pick? A Disney pick, Knob Creek, 14 year. Damn. I can pick out a Knob Creek pretty much anywhere. Has the same note on the nose. I always know it. I am so excited to have gotten to try a batch 9 Stag Junior. Thank you so much. Thank you to the Bourbon Junkies community. Thank you to Jerry Hamilton. And thank you to the Bourbon Junkies for my cool shirt. I love you guys. Have a great day. Hopefully this recorded.